Okay, taking a look at another Old Fort Arms Arrowhead chassis, a stock for the Ruger1022. Got my ROOKvoice logo engraved in the side of this chassis here. And this chassis has the optional quick detach sling swivel cup. I'm going to build a rifle with this stock. So here's a Ruger1022 barreled receiver. It's just a standard tapered barrel. And let's go ahead and put the safety halfway between safe and fire. Watch it laugh in my face as it says I don't want to be halfway between safe and fire. Alright, there we go. Put it back into safe. Get our provided takedown screw. Alright. Now for a pistol grip, you saw in my last video, I fashioned a gap filler with a MOE Magpul grip, and that worked out very well for the gap filler. I thought it looked just a little goofy having this much space between the trigger guard and the pistol grip. It feels very comfortable in hand because when my hand grips the grip, just the tip of my finger touches the trigger. So I like the placement of my finger on the trigger, but when you're holding it and you want to activate the safety, you got to really rotate off of your grip. So there's some pluses and some minuses to a grip this style. But boy, am I very fond of the Arsenal grip that he sells on his website. This is an AK-47 pistol grip, and boy, I mean, it feels nice in hand. It's not as filling in the hand as the MOE grip, but it fills in that gap very nicely. And he offers it in two variants. One for just a standard trigger, a standard Ruger trigger, and then one that's kind of been machined away a little bit so that it will accept the kid trigger, which I really like the kid trigger. So it's nice that he makes an offer that he mills it out for you so that it will fit your kid trigger group. Now with this being an AK-47 grip, obviously it's not going to mount straight to this AR-15 section here. So the screw kind of catches here at this point and draws up into where the AK-47 lug would be. So you need an adapter, which he manufactures and sells on his website. And you just want to snug that down. And then your AK-47 grip just slides over that adapter. Alright, so then let's add our buffer tube. And then I'm going to be using a UTG Pro S3 6th position Model 4 Combat Ops Ready stock. And I didn't even know UTG made anything in the USA, but this is a USA made product. So this has got a nice rubber stock pad on it, and it's very compact. Pull on your latch and install it. And the nice thing about this, because your buffer tube is so low in relationship to your pistol grip. Even with this completely fully collapsed, it still has plenty of space for your thumb. Now, I don't expect to shoot it much with it fully collapsed, but it is nice that with it fully collapsed, I can still hold the rifle with a natural pistol grip. And I really think that that's a nice feature of this stock. It's very nice for the Arrowhead system. So let's put our thread adapter collar on. And we're going to install the handguard. Make sure this is all straight and level. Taking place our anti-rotation screw in. Now in the last video I showed that the Archangel Picatinny rail for the Ruger1022 lines up well with your 12 o'clock handguard rail, but that scope mount is about $22, and this would be a lesser expensive option for you. This is the NC Star Ruger1022 Picatinny style rail, and it lines up perfectly as well as the Archangel rail does. You can see how well that rail lines up with the 12 o'clock rail. Gonna add my modified Tapco vertical grip. And with this much barrel exposed, I like to dress it up with the mock suppressor that Archangel sells. And that just slides over the front end of your barrel. A few taps. And then install your pin here. So for my scope, I'm going to be using a Dead Ringer Widowmaker. This is a 1.5 to 6 power scope. I really like the reticle on this scope. It's basically a red dot with a large circle around it and just a couple little crosshair hints on it. But what I like about this scope is even if the battery dies, it's got a black reticle. So the reticle illuminates, but if the battery dies, you still have almost essentially a red dot. And it's got your 1 to 6 adjustment here with this dial. You've got a negative and positive focus. You've got a yardage focus, so you can dial it from 10 yards all the way up to 150 yards. Your click adjustments, and then press it in to lock it in place. Bring in a full capacity magazine. So I've got a QD insert on my chassis here, and I have a QD insert on my stock. But if I want to go a 2-point sling, I can mount a QD insert at the front of my handguard. So I have a QD sling and swivel adapter with a 45-degree angled offset. Alright, so there is the Arrowhead stock, all tactically outfitted onto a Ruger1022. It's a big world out there, and we're bound to run into a shady situation. Until then, keep your gear on you.